It's been a while. Yeah, genuinely, I really don't know how to start this off. I just wanted to get a couple of words off of my chest due to a certain situation going on at the moment. Just a heads up, this is not meant as an offense, it's not meant to be, disrespectful, it is not meant to be just overall attacking someone. I genuinely just want to emphasize on something important to me that I feel like needs to be discussed for the better of the community when it comes to Tekken. As you might already know, the recent update to the Tekken shop has been uploaded, where we are now in the possession of what we are known to have costume packs or bundles or whatever you want to call them. Big elephant in the room, they're 50% off. Most of the items that have been already just, been on here or for a long time on the shop have been discounted now, except for the new stuff that has been released and some of the other stuff, which is a bit more recent, which is a bit more newer, if you would argue. We all were under the impression that these boxes in particular, they are loot boxes. Now, if we're going by the definition that we are all known to, which is the typical loot box from Overwatch or from Apex Legends or whatever the case might be, loot boxes contain random items that you have a specific percentage of getting when you are opening one of those up. I was under the impression that we're getting loot boxes with this update, and once these items are going to be in the shop, that this is going to be the case, this is what we'll have to deal with, and essentially try to persuade Bamco and the Tekken team to remove it from the shop, although I think that is already just way beyond discussion at this point. It doesn't really seem like they're going to be doing anything in order to listen to us when it comes to the shop, unless we're presenting to them something that we demand. And my issue at the moment isn't that much about the loot boxes themselves or the bundles that, let's fair enough, look, they are custom bundles. You get Walrang, you get Nina's costume that have been previously been available for 400 in each. Obviously they're on sale right now. That's not the case. I want to genuinely tackle something which I have been more or less been divided, or rather been thinking about on a more personal note. This is regarding KingJae in particular. The reason as to why I'm saying this is because it doesn't really seem like he is listening to what the community, or rather the comment section, is saying to him in his video, and also on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, where he insists on calling the costume bundles loot boxes. Why is this a big issue for me? For me personally, it's because here's the situation that I found myself in. Obviously, I was under the impression that we're going to get loot boxes. And when I saw his tweet, I didn't have the ability to check whether or not this is actually the case, if these are actually loot boxes. I was riding back home from work, and only when I got to my PC, I was finally able to confirm whether or not these were actual loot boxes. One might say, okay, he might have misguided me or something, but take that on a larger scale and you'll see the issue. The issue relies within the fact that in today's day and age, many people don't really care whether or not to check if some information is actually true or not. And we see that many times with different scenarios, in different cases, with different people. And it doesn't help that KingJae seems to double down on this idea that these are going to be eventually loot boxes down the line. This right here is like his second tweet on this situation. Correction, it's actually his third. I didn't even see this tweet. I wasn't even aware of this. He goes more into detail showcasing what this actually is, but the video still is loot boxes bundles have arrived in Tekken 8. I genuinely do not understand this entire logic. You genuinely have described yourself what is going on at the moment, yet you still are calling this the other way around. I genuinely don't know. It is a mystery to me at this point. He made a video where it was the title is different now, but Even now, it's still something that I have an issue with. You cannot call these things loot boxes, Jay. You have a massive audience. You are one of the juggernauts of the Tekken community, I would say. You are a very known figure among the community, and you are in a position that you need to be aware of. You cannot go and be clickbaiting in a situation like this when there's already lots of fire being thrown towards Bamco and the Tekken team. Due to the fact, I'm not here trying to defend Bamco, I am genuinely against them at the moment, even though I've also invested in the Tekken shop. Don't get me wrong, there is content that I am willing to spend money on. What I am saying here and what I'm more or less concerned about is how we present ourselves as the community, as the customer. If we're going to be putting down false accusations and or misinformation, that will target us and paint us in a bad light. That is going to get rid of our leverage as a customer, because the company will be saying, oh hey, you guys don't even know what a loot box is, so guess what, here's a loot box. And people are going to be running wild with it. People are going to look at a title, they're not going to confirm whether or not this is actual true information or not, and they will go and harass people with misinformation. And we simply cannot just uphold that. We need to stick to standards. We genuinely do. If we want the community to get better, we genuinely need to stick to standards. And if people come into your comment section and they're like, listen man, what you're saying is totally wrong. This is clickbait, this is misinformation, you're misleading people. You cannot go and be like, you lot see bundle packs, I can see it for what it is, but don't take my word for it. No, Jay. This is not the case. You need to say things or call things by what they are. You just cannot do this with your position now. If somebody like me who is irrelevant in the community, sure, one could just say, oh, he's a troll or this is a fucking idiot and just go on with their day. My word at the moment doesn't hold any value because I'm not a prominent figure at all. So I can get away scot-free with this, but you are in a completely different position. And like I said, if this is going to be loot boxes further down the line, by all means, call them for what it is. But right now, we need to be neutral. We also need to criticize where criticism is due. Because like I mentioned, these are just bundles that are on sale. But you cannot buy them separately. You genuinely cannot buy them separately. And I have watched the video. Yeah, he mentioned that as well. And I feel like there are definitely more points where you could possibly just get a bit more impact on. Jay, if you're going to see this, I genuinely do not know whether or not you're going to. I genuinely wish that you're just going to be changing up the title to not include loot boxes. To just get rid of this, because like you see, this paints a large target on your back. You were definitely right when it came to the frame data patch in Tekken 7, where they decided to charge us money for it. You were definitely right. But if you're going to be like this, like just doubling down on this is not the way forward. This is regressing. And I genuinely mean that with concern. I genuinely want the community to get better, and I also want you to get better. I don't want to see this. And I really do hope that you take these words to heart and just, this is a simple change, really. A simple change, but it affects so a lot. It has so much impact. You cannot fathom it. I am under the assumption at the moment that you cannot fathom just how much of a deal this is going to be. And this is why this is more or less of a short video as well. I genuinely do want more people to talk about the injustice that Bamco has been putting the community through. As he has mentioned in the video, looking at the shop at the moment, if you were to buy every single item, it will cost a hefty penny. I'm going to actually do the math right now, and I'm going to account for the actual price with no sales. So give me a moment. What we're looking at 24,850 coins. How much would that be in actual Tekken coins? So you would have to buy this 4.5 times to even get it. That's over 200 euros. That's over 200 euros if you were to buy the entire shop. Like just flat out buy the entire shop. That would be over 200 euros. You cannot make that shit up. For me personally, like I mentioned, the entire Tekken lobby stuff is just not for me. And I get why they made it, because obviously, you know, there is also a large appeal to the Fighters Lounge in Street Fighter 6. But seriously, who is really using the avatar? Or rather the avatar skin? Wasn't the entire Tekken launch just about making your own avatar? Like, what is the reason to even have of the playable characters be as skins for the avatar? I genuinely do not know. But yeah, like I mentioned, I genuinely hope that, you know, Jay is going to change the name, or rather the title of his video, and stop referring to something that isn't loot boxes as loot boxes. Because, like I mentioned, this puts a negative light on us as a community and possibly just revokes some of the leverage that we have when it comes to argumenting regarding the Tekken shop. Jay, if you're seeing this, please change it. Please. I am not here to instigate anything or to argue about minor things that should be just a bit more logical. In my opinion, I genuinely want the best for the community. I have said time and time again, modders need to be supported by the company because they are the closest link to the customer service, or rather the customer base. Bamco could have easily done a Bethesda where they distribute mods to console versions. You know, with the entire Creation Club menu, where you can just download mods, have different costumes. This would also get rid of some of the costs that Bamco would possibly have to do in order to fulfill everyone's wishes. And this would also be a win for the entire community, because the community is getting what the community wants. And not only that, the modders could also get something out of it, because while they're contributing to a massive success, they're also getting their piece of the pie for it. And it's just mind-boggling, man. It genuinely is just mind-boggling. It's been a short video. I know I haven't really uploaded anything recently, but I just wanted to get this out of get this off of my chest. So yeah, I'm not sure whether or not I'm going to be uploading anything anytime soon. My schedule has been kind of chaotic recently, and I've been getting into Street Fighter lately. You know, been struggling. I'm not going to lie, been very struggling with it, but I'm enjoying it. So yeah, have a good day, I guess.